you're coming off a really great season last year, and certainly I'm sure you're looking to get those wins racked up early on. How confident do you feel about your title chances as we progress through this year?
Yeah, I think looking back at last year, we were pretty much the favorite all year to win the title. I think coming into this year, we definitely have some great momentum on our side from 2021. I feel like we added a lot of value to our notebook last year. I became familiar with my crew chief and engineer, talking on the radio, communicating. I think what's going to be different this year is the practice and qualifying. We got to figure that out again, I guess. We didn't qualify so great in Phoenix, and one thing led to another. So I definitely think that we have a little bit of work to do there, but I feel good. We just got to go out here and continue to do our job. We were able to win both stages at Daytona. Got caught up in a last lap accident there coming to the white, and that's Daytona. So looking forward to Vegas. Got my first win here last year at Las Vegas Motor Speedway and with KBM. So hopefully we can go out and repeat and beat the boss again.
For sure. My last question for you is, I guess you could say that your name was sort of linked to having an Xfinity ride, or there was a consensus that you'd move up to Xfinity this year, but you were back with KBM this year in the Truck Series. So, in terms of your short-term future, where do you see things going beyond the season, if you could comment on that?
Yeah, I don't know. I'm focused on this year at this point. Only time will tell. I just have to go out there and perform and do my job, and that's to win races and perform to the best of my ability. Hopefully we can go out there and win this championship. Obviously that's the number one goal, as well as winning races. And hopefully we can do that. Hashtag here for wins.
Absolutely. Thank you, John.
Thank you.
All right. Our next question will come from MattWeaver. Go ahead, Matt.
Hey, JH. Thanks for taking some time this afternoon. I saw that your dad won at Sebring in an SBRA race. Was that one of your late models by chance?
I believe it was an old one of my K&N cars that we used to go and test. It was a road race car. I think that he ended up putting it back together and going down there. He's having a blast going and running some of those races with some guys and taking care of other people's cars as well.
And the reason I asked is I was talking to Jerry Kennan a couple of weeks ago, and he had told me that your dad was kind of cutting some of those old cars up and doing some other things with it. But he told me that he really wanted to get you back in a super late model at some point within the next year or so. Is that something you would like to do if the right circumstances present itself? Would you like to do it with Jerry again? What is kind of the thought process there?
Yeah, for sure. I definitely would get back behind the wheel of a super late model. I'm going to be doing some other racing this year as well, outside the truck and Xfinity stuff that'll be announced at a later date. But looking forward to having some fun this year. I think the more time that I can spend behind the wheel, the better. And of course, being able to work with Jerry and all the guys over at Donnie Wilson's with Bond and all them would be a great opportunity. They do really well with the whole Toyota TD2 or TRD program, and everyone that's gotten behind the wheel has definitely been fast in their supers and have been able to win races. So I would love to do it. Don't know if it would be with them or with our Nimco Motorsports team still. We still have some late models there. I think there's one or two left that we haven't converted to a road race car. So who knows?
Dan for it. Thanks, JH.
Thanks.
All right. Our next question will go to Zach Sternalino. Go ahead, Zach.
Hey, John Hunter. So both of your Xfinity wins have come on 1.5 mile tracks. You're back in the car this weekend, and obviously are the defending truck race winner here, at least from the spring. What can you bring into this weekend's race from prior experiences, and can anything translate between Friday night and Saturday afternoon?
That's a very good question. I do think that there will be some things that can transfer from lines and laps and how the track rubbers up, and definitely cars on racetrack this weekend as far as the 20-minute practice deal and then qualifying and everything else, and then the truck race going into the Xfinity race. So I think that there's some value with that. I think just turning laps in general and being out there Friday night can definitely help for Saturday. I also think after only 20 minutes of truck practice and qualifying, being able to go and practice the Xfinity car and qualify the Xfinity car right before the truck race, I think that'll definitely help me as well. So Vegas has been really good to me. I've been runner up there, I think once or twice in an Xfinity car. So I'm looking forward to getting behind the wheel for Sam Hunt and everyone at Toyota again this weekend. And we have Barry Bullets on board. So looking forward to trying to make them proud, local company there and longtime supporter of mine. So hopefully we can go get them a victory on Saturday and get Mobile One a victory on Friday night.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, our next, we'll go to Dustin Long. Go ahead, Dustin.
Thank you. Hey, John, I'm curious, the Toyota Performance Center, is that something where you work out and utilize, or have you kind of, as you gain more experience, been able to kind of find areas to work out on your own and kind of use anything from there with your at KBM or something else?
Yeah, so I train every day at the Toyota Performance Center. It's a really neat facility that Toyota and TRD have been able to put together for us, and it's up to us drivers that are underneath the Toyota banner and underneath the TRD banner on how we want to utilize that program and how we want to make the most of it. And I definitely feel like being there. I've learned a lot from being there. I feel like I've also brought some other things that I've learned over the years from being with Josh Wise, kind of being his little protege for a couple of years before that deal took off, and then some other things I've done on my own. So I feel like it's a really good facility, and it just continues to get better and better every single week and every year.
I'm curious. Look, you're really young, so I'm not trying to age you at all at being at 24. But it seems like you would be working at the TPC, that there would be drivers that are like 18, 19. You know, that there's an age gap difference, and I'm curious. You know, what keeps you going back in that sense, and you know, when it's maybe not people in your age group per se, and it's younger people, or does that help push you? Or I'm just curious, kind of that dynamic, because I would think at some point when you get older, you don't necessarily always want to be around people 5, 6, 7 years younger, and just the way things are.
Yeah, I think that there's two ways to look at that question. Yes, you can have the attitude of, I don't want to be around younger kids or whatever it may be. But when I'm at the gym, I'm focused on my task at hand and training to my absolute top ability. So I feel like I tend to push those younger kids when they're at the gym. When they may be complaining, I'm over there sweating my head off and just continuing to push through whatever it may be, and working really hard. And being 24, being able to be in the KBM stable, I'm kind of that veteran driver right now as well, underneath that banner at 24 years old, which is kind of crazy. But being able to have Chandler and Corey there, and them being younger, I feel like we can have dialogue and different things of that sort. So it's pretty unique in the sense of training with some of the kids. Sometimes I'm on my own, sometimes that they're there. Just depends on the day and schedule and how everything's going on. But everyone gets along really well, I feel like, in the Toyota camp, and we just push each other. You got to continue to push each other to be the best that you can be on and off the racetrack.
And one other thing I want to ask you about that is, as obviously they have trainers there and people working with you physically to help you improve physically. I know also they have an individual there who can help with, you know, mental, and just somebody to talk to. And obviously in sports, we always see so much about building the physical body up, but not as much as on the mental aspect of it. And certainly more has been brought out in the last year or so about that. How do you use that, or I guess how do you look at that? And I don't know if there is even a need to use it, but how do you look at that? Do you look at the brain as just another muscle, just like you would be, doing curls or squats or things like that?
Yeah, for sure. I think that I learned that mindset and everything about the brain from from my time when I was with Josh Wise. We focused a lot on that. And being able to train the brain is just like training your body. Your brain can tell you one thing and your body can go past what it is telling you and continue past that. I think that you see a lot of that in the endurance world, from running triathlons, Ironmans, whatever it may be, and you just continuing to push until your body physically shuts down. I like being able to train the brain. I like exercising it, doing different things. And at the end of the day, when I get done with a workout and training, I want to be mentally, physically, everything exhausted. If you're not, it's hard to say that you push yourself that day. So I think that there's a lot of benefit to training the brain as well as the body. And our races, they are physically demanding, but at the same time, they're very mentally demanding as well. I mean, you got to focus and try and hit the same line for 2 hours, 3 hours, 4 hours, and you can't mess up. When you're running at Daytona, I mean, you're running within a couple feet of cars all day, and you don't want to make a mental mistake and end up wrecking the whole field. So the answer is yes, utilizing that is very beneficial.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
All right, our next question will go to Marty. Go ahead, Marty.
Thanks, Amanda. Hey, John Hunter, thanks for the time. I'm just going to ask you one question so we can have some room for Nathan here. But I saw your tweet quoting Bernard Pollard saying, I'll send you a diecast after he asked if there's a driver to root for in the truck series. Did he happen to DM you yet, or you send him a diecast yet?
Yeah, he DM'd me. I got some information, and there was a diecast that went out this week. So he'll receive it soon.
Awesome. Is it any chance one of your winning trucks from this year or no?
I'll let him share it.
Okay.
I won't spoil it.
All right. Sounds good. Thanks, man. Good luck this weekend.
Thank you.
All right, our next question and final question for John Hunter will be Nathan. Go ahead, Nathan.
Thank you. Hey, John Hunter. Obviously you raced at Daytona 2 weeks ago, but this weekend's really the first time racing at a traditional oval with the new body style on the trucks. Just, are you expecting any aerodynamical changes compared to last year's truck on these types of racetracks?
I haven't been involved in a lot of the technical side of the different body. I know that the Toyota Tundra TRD Pro looks really good. It looks mean on the racetrack and for the production vehicle as well. So not exactly sure on what to expect, if there will be a huge difference aerodynamically and from them being at the wind tunnel and having it blown in the wind tunnel. I haven't seen numbers. I figured if there would have been a big difference, we would have talked about it as far as crew chief driver. So who knows? Hopefully it's better. Anytime that they come out with a body change, I feel like Toyota and all the other manufacturers put a lot of work in to try and make the trucks better, more aerodynamic, and trying to figure out how to get more downforce in them. So I'm excited. Hopefully we can take the Toyota Tundra TRD Pro to victory lane for the first time this weekend.
And your boss, Kyle Busch, he's racing the truck series on Friday. Last season, you went to victory lane in 3 of your 5 races against him. Is there any extra motivation for you to run well when you're competing against your boss?
Yeah, I don't think there's extra motivation. Him and I actually had a conversation about this a few weeks ago, and I don't think there's any extra motivation. When you look at last year, we won 3 of the 5 races he was in, and then all the races that he wasn't in, we only won 2 out of whatever it was, 18 of them. So it's a little bit different mindset, I would say, for us going into it this year. But looking forward to having the opportunity to race against Kyle. Anytime that you're able to race against him or any of the other Cup guys, you're always learning something. They always have a lot of knowledge, and they have a really big notebook that they can pull from different moves and information. And I think one of the best things is when he races, we're able to sit down and debrief after the race, and I can pick his brain and he can pick my brain, and figure out who was better where, what was different setup wise in our trucks, what we both fought all night, looking at pit road, different statistics. There's a lot of different things that we can look at and kind of bounce off of each other. And you know that you have a gauge when he comes down and runs, that he's going to maximize everything that he possibly can.
And last question for me, obviously you kind of touched a little bit about the practice and qualifying, that kind of condensed sessions for both, a little different from like a Daytona or previous seasons. Just have you thought about how you're going to approach those 2 sessions, knowing that you can only kind of do so little in that amount of time?
Not really. Approach it the same as last year. As if you didn't have practice. You got to be really close, set up and balance wise, unloading right off the truck. If you're not, there's not much that you can change anyways to try and fix it. So hopefully your setup is good. Hopefully the simulation tools were really good going to the racetrack, and hopefully the notebook has been good from the past and you didn't make any mistakes. So hopefully we played everything right, and we brought a fast truck here to Vegas and for the rest of the year where we have practice like that and qualifying. I think the qualifying adjustments compared to where you're at in practice and race balance is definitely going to be interesting to see who hits it right off the bat and who struggles with it. I know we struggled with it last year at Nashville and Phoenix, really the only 2 places that we qualified. So I feel like we have a better grasp on that now of what we did and what we did wrong. So hopefully we can continue to build on that and go qualify better than we have.
Thank you.
Thanks.
All right, John Hunter, thank you so much for your time. We really appreciate it. Best of luck this weekend in Las Vegas.
Thank you guys. Appreciate it.